How's it going, guys? Bringing Platoon here, and welcome back to another great game on World of Tanks Xbox One Edition. Today I will be playing in and 3 marking the Tier 8 British heavy tank that is called the Caernarvon. It's got great turret armor, it's got a good punchy gun, and for the equipment loadout I have for this thing is as follows: vertical stabilizer, gun rammer, and vents, just because it already has a 400 base view range, and I also have the premium consumable on, which helps with everything, including view range, crew skills, and yeah, reload values, or yeah, aiming time, all that nonsense. So, why do I love this tank? Besides being brittle as shit in the sides, and as well as having an equally brittle ammo rack, this thing just shoots every 6.5 seconds with the loadout that I have, and having 280 alpha instead of the years ago 230, I think it was, alpha. This thing is a force to be reckoned with. Its turret is strong. You might even call it Russian strong. And why is it that strong? Well, 270 millimeters all around for armor protection in the turret. Face on. As soon as you turn the turret, the side, well, don't get shot in the side of the turret. Preferably, you'd want to face your enemy straight on with this thing using all of your 10 degrees of gun depression. And that's really all that you can do in this thing, is go hull down, hope for the best. You can side scrape in it. It's not impossible to do, but I wouldn't recommend it, as the side of it is angled quite oddly and can still be penned. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different tank. I know the FV215B, the Tier 10, has a weird spot that you can pen even if they're side scraping perfectly because of the shape of the side hull. But do not be concerned with that, because side scraping usually is fine as long as you're not going up against, big caliber guns. So keep that in mind. Let's see, what else? I love this tank. All you need to 3 mark it is 2,800 damage on average per game, and I consistently get 3,000 whatever in it without even trying. 4,000 even. It's a great tank. Granted, its top speed is slow as shit, much like the rest of the British line, but it's just phenomenal. The damage output is great. You got a good turret. Yeah, you have a hatch on it that people can pen, unlike the IS-7, but it's fine. The turret's fine. People can still pen the roof of your turret even though it is angled with heat. I will test that out right now. Let's just go with M103. Let's load 340 millimeters of heat pen. Okay, so it's like a 50-50 chance. So, never mind. They can go right through your turret, though, which is unfortunate. You do have a turret ring of also like 255 millimeters, which is pretty damn good for Tier 8. But keep that in mind, is that is also a quote-unquote weak spot for when you're facing higher tiers. But it's just so good. It took me a year to figure out this kind of hill area, or how to go from like K6 to J8 on this little side river here. Don't know why it took me so long, but it's possible from both ends, and it's pretty funny. It's a very compromising spot for both teams, and I'm surprised I didn't learn about it sooner, but through trial and error and watching YouTube videos, I was able to figure it out. And for some reason, the Super Pershing rams the Mutant M6, and if you ever have one face-hugging you, the Mutant M6 that is, you can just premium spam either down on his upper plate, because it'll equalize his armor while he's face-hugging you, or you can aim right into his turret ring, right underneath the gun, and pen him for like 255 millimeters of armor. So, that's fine. I don't like those tanks. You can also pen their tracks right into their chassis face on if they're going over a hill. Just aim at their upwards into their tracks, and then you can perma-track them and damage them like that. Pretty funny. It's not a good tank. I'm sure it makes a shitload of silver, but wouldn't recommend it otherwise. But yeah, this is a 3 marking game. It's not the best game I've ever had in this thing, but like I said, I usually get games like this, where it's 4,000 damage plus a little bit of spotting, or it's like 3,500 damage, and that's all I get to do because it was a tier 10 game, or I wasn't going to the right locations where all the enemies were, and it's so good. I love this tank. 0.34 accuracy at 100 meters, and you fire every 6.5 seconds for 280 alpha or more, or consequently less, or coincidentally less, depending on RNG rolls. But, like, it's so good. It really is. It can dick over tier 10s, as long as they're not premium spamming into you, but that's to be expected. Driving a -2 tier to tier 10s. But, yeah, it's a great tank, and there probably isn't a better tier 8. It's accurate. It's a little slow for my taste, and I don't really like that much, but I deal with it because every other aspect of it is great. And of course, being a British tank, you don't want to get dicked on by Artie because, well, the roof of this thing is not great. And then we have a Chrysler K, another tier 8 premium tank. I'm completely okay with taking the Ram here. It doesn't really matter to me. He's got a slower reload than I do. And I can just aim down on his upper plate with premium and pen him. And oh look, there's his friend. Or, well, I guess they're not platoon, so technically they're not friends, but very overly eager people in tier 8 premium tanks, which they bought, getting just annihilated by this thing. It's fucking hilarious. Like, I could very easily go behind the Chrysler K just to use them for cover, but these people are clearly idiots and don't know how to play their tank, so don't really feel the need. And I had the HP to spare, so no worries there either. Pretty funny. Outskilled the shit out of them with my tank alone. Well, granted, my team was around me and they were the only remaining tanks left, but still pretty damn funny. That granted me an ace tanker medal, not a surprise there. And of course, there's the third marks that I promised you. And that's the game. But before I let you go, I'm going to show you what the 3 marks on the tank looks like. And doesn't it look magnificent? Another tank 3 marked. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Feel free to drop me a like, comment, or subscribe. Any of those will do. Would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.